You could probably just use 2 blocks. You could use a bolster if you want to. I'm sitting on a blanket, but you don't have to. If you have a pillow or a blanket you want to sit on, you can do that. We're going to do hip openers today, but we're going to try to it's a yin class. It's definitely more yin focused than restorative, but I want to do it with a kind of a restorative mindset. So we're still getting some deep stretches, but we're going to do them in a way, hopefully, where you can really relax. So we're going to really practice relaxation. So you want to go about 80%. You don't want to push till the end of the muscle. You want to find just enough where you feel a stretch, a good stretch, but not so much that you feel like straining or you're gritting your teeth. So we want to really try to relax. So we're going to just start seated for a moment and just get into whatever is a comfortable cross-legged position is for you. Hands on the knees. Let's close the eyes. Just think about the hips softening, but also the shoulders. So even though we're going to be stretching into the hips today, we want to also think about softening other parts of the body. Softening the jaw. Okay, so we're going to let the eyes open. I'm going to get into a pose here. So we're going to straighten into the right leg. Left foot is just going to be the inside of the right leg. Now you can use your blocks here in front of you. And we're going to fold in between the knees to start. So we're just coming forward. And if you can come all the way forward and the elbows touch and you can really relax down, you don't need the blocks. But if you're a little higher, you could set them up here or even here to relax your elbows down. And you're really trying to tilt those hips forward as you relax into the pose. And let the head hang. And again, while you're here, you're just finding that 80%. So you want to find where you're feeling the stretch, but not so much that it's making you feel gripping in your leg, gripping in your body. So if you need to back off a little, back off a little. And then with each breath, you want to just soften the body a little bit more. And if you need to move, feel free to move, but you're working towards stillness, but it's still okay to move if the pose feels uncomfortable. So then we're going to come up and just walk on over to the straight leg. And we're going to square those shoulders and just get into the hamstring a little. You can bring those blocks to either side of your leg. So you could go this route. There's a few options here. You want to really try to make the elbows even so that your shoulders are square. You could also bring a block to your leg and rest your head. And just notice where you're not softening. So you might feel your right leg gripping or your left leg gripping. See if you can soften. Let's come up. Nice. Switch legs. So maybe move your legs a little bit as we switch. So we can bring these blocks in if you want to use them. Tilt those hips forward and fold. You can have your elbows on the blocks, elbows to the floor. And one side might feel a little different than the other. My two sides are very different. So for me to get to 80%, this side maybe I need to be a little bit higher. I'm letting that head hang. And then let's come up. We're going to switch over, just going straight over that leg. So we're squaring the shoulders and coming down. You can use the blocks. Take one for your head. And I like to rest my head because it helps me soften my upper body. It gives me a sense of safety. I've noticed that makes me feel like I can let my upper body get a little heavier. And as you're in these poses, just see if your breath can slow down a little bit more. Notice tension in your bent leg. Are you gripping there? Can you soften more? We just take a few more breaths right here. And then we're going to slowly walk our way up. Good. Now let's straighten into both legs again. Just to move them around. And then let's bring the bottoms of our feet together. Baddha Konasana. We're just bringing the feet together, sitting up tall. Blocks, of course, can be in front of you, so you can rest. You could use them for your elbows or for your head. You can even stack them. Whatever works for you. Remember, you're finding 80%. So what feels like a good stretch where you can relax. But not so deep that it bothers your gripping. So it's a little easier to find stillness when you're at 80% as opposed to 100. Good. Let's slowly come up. Perfect. Just straighten into those legs one more time. Ooh. And then we're going to come onto our back. So we're going to need one block while we're on our back. So just make sure that you have it nearby. And we're going to come onto our back. So we're going to take, well, we're going to hold on to that. Just make sure it's right there. So we're going to put it to the left of you for now. And we're going to take your right knee and just hug it in. So we're just hugging it in. Now, as you soften, you might let that right leg go out to the right. Good. Now your other leg, you might leave it this way with the knee bent or straighten it. So straightening it helps you get into the front side of your hip, opening into the hip flexor. But if it bothers your back, then just keep the knee bent. It's totally fine. We're just hugging that knee in, really letting it soften out to the side, or keep it to center. If you want to keep it to center, that's okay too. You just find the spot where you feel a nice little stretch. Maybe the compression is what you like. Just, if you're not sure, just tune into what you're feeling. Okay, so we're going to keep this leg the way it is, and we're just going to bend into that right leg or left knee. Bend into the left knee, sorry. I'm going to take this block and put it underneath that foot. So it's just making that foot a little bit higher. And I have the heel hanging off so that it's just kind of catching onto there while the block is gripping the mat. And then we're going to take the ankle and place it on that knee. And then press the knee away. So instead of hugging this leg in, we're just going to use the block here just to hold. And you're just gently pressing that knee forward. Keep relaxing. Good. And we're going to just take that right foot and step it down on the mat. Grab the block. And set it to the other side so it's available. And we'll hug the left knee in. Maybe as you relax, you want that left knee to go out to the left. And maybe straightening into the leg if it feels good. So in yin, we're learning how to apply a little bit of stress in the form of a pose. And then also work on relaxing while that is happening. Good. So let's bend into that right knee. Bring that block underneath the foot. You can grip that heel on the side of it. Let the block hold on to the mat for you. And then we're going to take the ankle, place it on the right knee, and press the knee. So sometimes doing a pose gently is one of the more powerful ways to do it because it allows you to find that relaxation in the pose. And with relaxation, you can soften. When you soften, you find more space. And when you find more space, you can go deeper into the pose. So we're going to just bring that foot off of the right leg, set it down. Move the block out of the way and hug both knees into the chest. Let's do one more little stretch of the hips by bringing the knees apart, grabbing onto your ankles or your feet or your shins. Go for what you can reach and just really let the knees soften out to the sides. So we're just letting gravity do the work here, and maybe your hands too, so you can pull down so the knees inch toward the floor. And then we're going to release, bringing both feet down to the mat, straightening into the legs, arms down by your sides. Close your eyes. Take a long, deep breath. Bending into the knees. Let's roll onto one side of your body. Pressing up to a seated position. Taking your time. Just take 3 long, deep breaths right here. One more deep inhale. One more deep exhale. Thank you so much for sharing your practice with me. Have a wonderful rest of your night. Namaste. Thank you.